Hello everyone and welcome to the Tamagotchi Nano review video. This time I'm going to be reviewing the Tokyo Revengers Tamagotchi Nano collaboration, and straight away I'm showing off the poo equivalent, which on most of the Nanos is some in-universe cleanup, or in this case it's defeating an enemy, and that's the same thing as in the Demon Slayer Nanos and in the Jujutsu Kaisen Nanos. So I'm kind of a little bit like, it was cool to start with to get these battles, so you clear it away by punching them, and that's the poo equivalent. But yeah, I'm noticing a lot of the anime Nanos have a battle as the poo equivalent. So more or less, this Nano is the same as the other ones before it, so let's go over the gameplay. Something that is fairly more unique on this Nano is that the food option at the top here changes. I'm not sure if the snack does. It does always seem to be dorayaki, so like the little fish with the inside, and that's pretty cool. But I do appreciate that the food appears to change. So that's like a little bento box for this character. And as always, I'm not super familiar with this franchise, so I don't know who I have. He has long black hair, he looks pretty cool and edgy, kind of like him, and he seems pretty happy with me at the moment. I'll probably make sure that he's fed, so I'll button mash until he refuses food. And yeah, he's pretty happy with my existence at the moment, so that's pretty nice. So all of the icons are icons rather than English or Japanese titles for the options, which I'm a big fan of, especially for the international releases, and makes it a lot more accessible just having these icons rather than any words. And I remember I think it's the Torevetchi that has like very tiny smushed up kanji that's pretty hard to read even if you know kanji. So yeah, big fan of the icons. In terms of the games, it gives you 3 games, which is fairly standard for a Tamagotchi Nano, and they're more or less the 3 games that you would expect from most Nanos. Most Nanos seem to have the same selection of games or a similar selection of games, but with just a skin from whatever the franchise is. So we have this the obstacle one, which is you are riding a motorbike and you have to avoid these witches' hats or traffic cones. I'm not sure if witches' hats is an Australian term or if that's more of an international term. So yeah, that's the obstacle game. That's pretty standard. Then we have the timing game. Again, this one's fairly common on a lot of Nanos. You have to wait until it's in the middle and then you have to press B. I'm really bad at this. Yeah, I'm terrible at it. So you have to press it exactly when it's in the middle, not when it's to the not when it's to the side. And of course, these and yeah, he's sad with me because I did pretty badly. So let's try that again. But effectively, the level of care and the games you play, as well as the overall result in the games that you play, helps determine what character, I'm terrible at this, you get. So some characters require you to play all the games, or some of them may require you to play the games a certain number of times, while others may require you to get a perfect result a certain number of times. And that's the same sort of, I'm just going to do that again until I do slightly better and make my character a little bit happier. I'm always terrible at this game. Something I like about the Nano games is that they're all fairly quick and easy. I'm just bad at this one. Maybe it's because I'm reviewing that I can't get the timing too good. Yeah, I'm really terrible at that one. Yeah, it's one that's on most of them, so the most common ones being these 3 games that are on this, and I'll show you the 3rd game once I stop being terrible at this. Maybe it's because I was talking at the same time. It's still pretty sad, even though I did better that time. Anyway, so I'll show you the other game now. And the other game is bowling, and this I'm fairly certain is the button mash game, which is on most of them, and it's the easiest, and it's my favourite because it's the easiest. You just button mash A. It's pretty hard to not do perfectly on this one, so that's why it's my favourite. But yeah, the good thing about the Nano games is that they're quick, and because they're quick and easy, they're not boring. Some Tamagotchis do have games that go on a little bit too long, and they're pretty not fun to play. These games are nice and short and sweet, and unless you're terrible at timing, they're not too boring either. So this one is the easiest. So it's always the one that I always get the character that requires multiple perfect button mashing games. And 3 games tends to be pretty standard for Tamagotchi Nanos. Some, like the Torevetchi, which is the One Piece collaboration, has 2 games, which is a little bit unusual, but more or less it's a pretty standard and typical Tamagotchi Nano, so it gets pretty standard typical results. Ease of use is always 10 out of 10 for the Tamagotchi Nanos. They're all very easy to use. The only exception there is the Molcar Tamagotchi Nanos, both of them. That's because the buttons aren't very good. All the other Nanos, except for those 2, have perfect buttons. They're fine. They press as you would expect. The Molcar one does not. So that's why I always give the Molcar ones not 10 out of 10 for ease of use. And enjoyment's a fairly standard 9, I guess. I do like when the food option changes depending on the character that you have. And you can always check happiness by pressing C, and when it's maximum happiness and hunger and everything, you get, say, a nice little close-up of your character, so that's nice. And of course B shows you the time, and I guess I started this before the daylight savings did the thing, because it's an hour ahead. But in any case, that's it for the Tokyo Revengers Tamagotchi Nano. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like this video if maybe I should get better at the timing game and have a happier character because of it. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have subscribed, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbours. And of course, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!